Howdy. My name is Zach Scow, and I'm the executive director and founder of Marley's Mutts Dog Rescue. And I wanted to take a minute to explain what Marley's Mutts means to me. Marley's Mutts means to me life. It is the only reason that I'm alive and well. It's one of many reasons, but it is the primary reason why I was able to survive the alcoholism and addiction that almost took my life. I was diagnosed with end-stage liver disease 8 years ago, and I was given less than 90 days to live without a liver transplant. When you are end stage, you need a liver transplant, period, no ifs, ands, or buts. And without a liver transplant, I was not going to survive. But I wasn't eligible for a liver transplant because you need six months sobriety. And though I spent 2 months in the hospital, that was the only sobriety I had accrued when I was admitted into a transplant program. And I was admitted to a transplant program and was told a couple of things. 1, find a will to live. 2, exercise. And 3, don't drink or use drugs. And I didn't know how to do any of those things. What I really wanted to do most was take my own life. That was what I fantasized about and what I thought about. It was a recurring tape that played over in my head. I came up with and invented different scenarios, like dare to be great scenarios in my head, playing over and over again, that I just wanted to find a way to take my own life that didn't involve actually committing suicide. So being able to jump in front of a speeding car that was going to hit a kid, or thwart a bank robbery, or whatever, anything like that. I just couldn't live. I fantasized about taking my dad's gun and just ending it. And the one thing after I was released from the hospital that kept me in this earth, in this world, and not in the bowels of a very, very dark place, which is, going through opiate withdrawal and all of the things that I had to go through when I got out. The only thing that kept me in the present was my dogs, was Marley and Tug. And when I was going through withdrawals and having extremely vivid hallucinations and terrible pain, I was already yellow and swollen and looked like I was going to die. But then going through the tremors and basically the seizures that occur with withdrawal was terrible. But my dogs, just their presence, helped me to get through that experience. And then every single day, my dogs looked at me with this undying, really perplexing worship. They just loved me. They loved me, loved everything about me. And at this time, I was 145 pounds, completely yellow. What wasn't yellow on me was purple. I was very, very, very sick. My belly was 9 months pregnant, distended, and but my dogs looked at me like I was the sexiest man alive, and like anything could happen. Like that I could be the master of my day, and that my only limitations were my own mind. And they looked at me every morning, wagging their tails with that excitement. What do you want to do today, Dad? What do you want to do today, Dad? And after, it didn't sink in immediately, but after enough time, you just break down. I just couldn't deny their affection anymore. And I'd go look in the mirror. I remember looking at myself in the mirror, still being a relatively vain person, and seeing huge belly. I was completely yellow. My eyes, everything. My butt was totally flat and like wrinkly, and I had my muscles had atrophied from being in the hospital. I had no. I just looked like the sick person I'd ever seen, But my dogs looked at me like I was Fabio. They looked at me like I was Matthew McConaughey, not in the movie. Not in. I digress. But it's just been an amazing ride. My dogs really taught me to take one step at a time, put one foot in front of the other, and just get outside. And that's what we started doing. We started walking, and we started getting better. And I started journaling, and I started writing about what my dogs did for me, and what what the world might be like if I could maintain sobriety. I started to dream again. I started to have aspirations. I started to dare to dream, which was not something I did very often. I didn't think I would make it past 30, and I certainly didn't have any aspirations If anything, they were delusions. They weren't bona fide aspirations because there was no way to achieve them. But I started to create this pack, and Marley's Mutts organically developed from it, from Marley being able to help me take in 1 dog, 2 dogs, 3 dogs, 4 dogs at a time, up to 12 dogs. And we got this thing going, and we had so many people push, so many people just tell me, hey, you can do this. Why not do this? Why not start a dog rescue? Why not educate people? Why not be vulnerable? Why not talk about your disease? Why not live wide open, you know? And a lot of people give me a lot of flack for that, but it's been the difference between keeping me honest and not keeping me honest. If I live wide open, then I am forced to be honest, because my natural tendency is not to be an honest person. I spent so much time lying and bullshitting to get my way through addiction and alcoholism that, you know, it become my default to fib, to lie because I needed to, because my reality, the truth of the matter was not good enough. The truth of the matter didn't get me anywhere. I had to fib to make ends meet. And then Marley's Mutts happened, and it's now 8 years later, no, 7 years later. We have officially founded Marley's Mutts in 2009. And what a ride it's been, man. We've been able to affect, I mean, I've probably had thousands of messages from people in recovery, people that are struggling with alcoholism, people who message me about what their dogs have done for them, people that have adopted from us, thousands of adoptions. We've affected so many lives, all the different schools, hundreds and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, kids, veterans, mentally handicapped, developmentally disabled, people that we've affected in a positive way because of this organization. And it just inspires me to keep going. And what Marley's Mutts means to me now is taking what we've learned with rescue and applying it to people in recovery. We have 2 programs that Liz has kicked off at the Mission, which are 12-step programs, with the men's program and the women's program. And I really aspire to get that going on a larger level and to make that into something, you know, where rescue dogs can help rescue people in recovery, just like they did for me. Just like Marley and Tug. Marley's right here, by the way. Marley, come here, buddy. Come here. Well, he won't be on camera. He's 14 years old now. He can do whatever the hell he wants. I want to use the lessons I learned with my dogs to help other people get out of their own mind and into the solution with dogs. You know, get out of themselves and get into the solution of helping an organism other than yourself, by being a part of something greater than yourself. And by waking up and being forced to put your efforts into a rescue dog, into walking that dog, feeding that dog, exercising that dog, giving that dog rules, boundaries, limitations, exercise. Those are all the same things that people in recovery need. And I'm excited to get it going. And that's what Marley's Mutts means to me. I hope people will share what Marley's Mutts means to them as well. And maybe we can put together some posts to kind of highlight what Marley's Mutts has meant to everybody over the last 7 years. I know we've affected a lot of people, and I'm just scrolling through all the different scenarios, all the people that we've gone to see, all the people that have messaged, all the people that have gone through liver failure. 3 of them are in the middle of it now. Friends of ours that are battling the same thing I battled. I actually wanted to do this post in front of my grandfather, the guy behind me on the wall, because he died of liver failure at 41 years old, July 3rd, 1961. And my dad was 14, 15. And I've really been able to, what Marley's Mutts has meant to me is to be the continuance of his legacy. So he didn't get to survive past 41, didn't get to be a part of my dad's life. And instead, he died of liver failure. I could have been him. I could have died at 28 of liver failure, or anywhere in between then and now. I'm 36, but I haven't, and so I've been able to kind of continue his legacy and use my grandfather and I actually pray to my grandfather. You know, I use him as a part of God as I understand him. I talk to him. I pray to him. As weird as I am about religion, about developing a God of my understanding, I still wanted it to be like an old guy, like an old face, like how we interpret God. And so I used my grandfather, you know, and I used the idea of him, my ancestor, as you know, the eternal essence, his eternal soul is something that I try to connect with, and I try to pray to him as often as I can when I'm not too caught up in life. So I'm really happy to still be alive, and with the phone ringing, I will sign off. Thank you.